What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today in this video I just wanted to discuss something which I've been meaning to address for a while on my channel, particularly in light of the last few videos that I've been producing. But I just wanted to wait out to see exactly how it develops before I say anything. I thought this is the perfect time to address it, particularly when it comes to the topic of race and racism and seeing what everyone kind of thinks about this whole diversity piece and the rest. Now, looking at my comments on my videos in regards to particularly the last video that I put up regarding the 50p coin and the diversity built Britain, etc. And from the comments, you can tell exactly who left them. You could tell from the type of message that was left, the tone that you can infer from it, and even the messages which you may have not seen because YouTube have actually deleted it. But I still get those messages and I know exactly what was said. Now, I like to keep messages open. So on my YouTube channel, there will be no censorship, at least from my part. However, YouTube have their own internal censorship. Even though I asked for it not to be, YouTube will still automatically delete some messages if they feel it violates their terms and conditions. Again, some of the messages that have been deleted, I didn't think it did, but again, they operate on a completely different basis. So whatever keywords that they found that it's, or whatever message that they thought was inappropriate, they just take it down. So when I hear people saying, oh, you're trying to censor me, or you're scared of the truth by deleting my messages, I just find it funny because if only they knew. And that all leads me to the recent subject at hand and the image that you're seeing on the screen. Now, this image is from a magazine called Coco Girl, and this is a UK publication which is aimed at young black girls. Now, the creator of this magazine is called Serlina Boyd. She was on Good Morning Britain, and she was discussing how it came about in regards to she was, I suppose, not happy about the representation of some magazines because it didn't have any, girls of color. And her father said, instead of complaining about it, why don't create a market for it? Because there must be someone who looks like you who has exactly the same thought process. So, cue the inception of this particular magazine. But here's the thing: what I also found. Cue the outrage from people in the comments and from people in general. And again, the thing what strikes me about this though, and this is what I will say, it's not from the people who you expect it from. It's not from the lefty snowflake woke brigade is what they're colloquially called nowadays from the right. No. This is a different breed. This is actually on the right-hand side. And this is what makes me, I suppose it takes me back a little bit and it sort of makes me think, you know what, I needed to address this point. Because we always hear the right always trying to complain to the left about how they like to censor people, how if anyone has a different viewpoint or a different perspective on something, they get shouted down because it's not adhering to the mainstream media, which, again, I agree with. But then also, on the other hand, they also have their own situation where they like to shout things down and cry this and cry that whenever maybe something on the left is spoken or maybe something which they don't agree with. And you think to yourself, hold on a second, isn't this whole hypocrisy here? You're then saying on one hand that you don't like this, but on the same token, when someone else has a different opinion to you guys are trying to shout them down as well. And also the tone in regards to what he said and the message that I left, it kind of makes you thinking, maybe some of the people on the left who talk about racism aren't as far off the mark as what you lead them to believe that they are. And particularly when it comes to the situation, because I read the comments, the people's thought process, and everyone saying, oh, this is divisive, oh, this is racist, oh, this is this, oh, this is that. And I'm thinking to myself, man, you guys have missed the point. And man, not only missed the point, it's not even relevant to the situation at hand. And this is what I mean. Number one, this is an independently created magazine, which means it is not funded by the public and it has nothing to do with public consumption in that sort of way. And what do I mean by public funded? It's not funded by white people because, as white people keep nicely pointed out, which they are correcting, they're majority of the demographic in Britain. You're 100% correct. But you know what? You guys aren't funding it. So I don't know why you guys are even complaining about it. It's not impacting your daily life because, again, it's not something that you have to pay for. It's not something which ITV have forced upon you. It's not something that the BBC have forced upon you without discussing it. If you are paying your TV license, if you are watching these channels, this is not something that you have to patronize, and it's not something which is forced upon you. So I don't know why you guys are even remotely complaining about something which, to the most part, you guys don't care about. It's not aimed for you. So just take 2 steps back. This person here has created a magazine for a particular market, which in a free market system, she has all the right in the world to do so. If there's a market for something, then guess what? Somebody can go and cater for that market. It's the same way now we have food produce, the same way how we have certain, again, when it comes to halal stores, when it comes to certain hair care products, skincare products, there are certain markets that people target because certain people have different requirements, depending on it, not even necessarily race. It could be based on a publication if you are left-leaning, right-leaning, centre-leaning. There's so many things that we in a free market cater towards that may not be for whole of the public, but they are, for the most part now, when it comes to at least this example, it's independently funded. So you guys don't need to worry about this. The people who will patronise it are the people who this person is catering for, and that is primarily black people with black girls. It may be husbands, fathers, it may be mothers, sisters, daughters, whatever it may be. It's not for you guys. So why are you guys complaining? And the amount of, and the sort of the complaints I'm seeing and the tone and everything that I'm hearing, I'm like, man, if you hadn't known any better, you would say there are racist undertones that you hear from it. But again, I don't like going through there all the time, but when I see the comments and when I hear the pushback, I'm like, man, it almost comes to a stage now where everything that comes out is just one sweat brush instead of looking at things from an individual case by case basis. And that's why I would always stand by this notion. I don't care who gets upset with me. So if you're unhappy with this, you can unsubscribe. I don't care. I always stand by black ownership when it comes to media, print, so that diversity is not forced. Because I don't like forced diversities, particularly when it comes to mainstream media. I think for the most part, if a percentage of the population is X, for the most part, it should represent like that. I know there'll be times where it won't do due to talent pool, etc., etc. But for the most part, I don't like forced diversity. I just like it to be, if you're good enough, you get on. But with ownership of media, we can do a lot of things, like anything. If we own our own media, we can control our narrative, because this is something that we've been crying out for the longest. So instead of forcing diversity onto the main public arenas, create our own space where, again, no one has to say, oh, well, we're paying for you this. That's not happening at all. So we can tell anybody who doesn't agree with it, listen, turn off the channel, switch off the TV. You don't have to watch it. You don't have to even patronize it. This is not something for you. That's why I'm always for black ownership. Because again, you as white people as well are well within your rights to do this yourself. If you feel that your group is not represented in whatever arena, like what happens now, you can start a business. You can do the exact same thing that this young lady have done, and you can target the group that you feel needs represented. You have my full support. So my advice is to stop complaining all the time, stop bitching and moaning, and then do something about it. Because after all, as you keep on telling us, you have the number to support this because you are the main demographic. So I just wanted to say that in regards to this video, in regards to this magazine that I saw, in regards to Serlina Boyd and what she created, and just the stupid outrage in regards to something which is not even relevant. It doesn't even make any sense. But I just wanted to share that with you guys and just look, listen, even though I'm against a lot of these things that talk about everything's racist, at the end of the day, I still know what time it is. I still know that there are racist people out there. And again, from the tone, from the message that and the comments that I'm seeing of late, I'm telling you this now. This year is exposing a lot of things on both sides, and I'm still watching. I'm still looking, and if I have to, I'll come back and address it fully. But until next time, I'm out.